Hello, my friends. I'm just out here taking a walk in the Franklin Mountains, and I thought you should join me. So today we have a challenge. There are students around the world studying climate change and drought across the world. So we want to join them. They want to know how drought has impacted our area as well. So we are going to teach them. Did you know that experts predicted by the year 2020 El Paso would be out of water? Well, thankfully we're not. But it is only because of technology and the ability to reuse water in El Paso that we're not out of water. But we have to think as scientists, what caused us to almost be out of water? Did drought have something to do with it? So, that is your challenge. What I know, and I can share with you, is that El Paso and the Juarez community that we live in, this region, is facing challenges in regards to usable water, just like most of the world, right? So previously, our region was under a severe drought, and you're going to do research and find out what that means. This was mainly due to population growth and a decrease in the amount of runoff from the mountains up north of us in Colorado, where it snows and then it melts and it comes into our water basins, right? So you're going to do research and figure that out. Something alarming is that climate science is being debated as far as, is climate change real? And so officials are able to disregard climate change as a reason for our droughts. Like, is the fact that temperatures are going up north of us causing less snow, less runoff into our water sources? Well, it would make sense, but the problem is not everyone looks at science when we're thinking about solutions to our problems, right? And I would think running out of water, drinking water in El Paso is a problem. We live here, right? So, like I said earlier, the previous forecast was that El Paso was to run out of water by the year 2020. Today, as I make this recording, it is April 21st in the year 2020. So thankfully, I said earlier that we have some technology in our area that has allowed us to not run out of water. And this is through our desalination plant that is now in East El Paso, or we might know it as the Tech H2O Center, right? So there's a place in El Paso that is reusing our water. So we've built the world's largest desalination plant. It treats sewage water and it sends back into drinking water. So while that may seem a little gross, it's rather imperative that we have the technologies to do that. So that's something really cool to research. How? Thankfully, someone had the brain and the idea to come up with a solution for that, right? So I'm out here in the desert. Remember, we live in a desert. Population growth is right behind me. You see, I'm sitting on the edge of a freeway that goes through this mountain. And behind me, right here, is beautiful desert. So this area in the Franklin Mountains is naturally a desert environment, but it wasn't always. if we research this region right here, we're going to realize that we had lakes right here. Dinosaurs once walked this land. And we know that because archaeologists have found fossils that date way, way back to when there were indigenous peoples that lived right here in our region, like before the Ice Age even. So now we see El Paso and we have the beautiful Franklin Mountains. But we also have urban areas with population growth. And that population growth is a contributor to the droughts we have. If we use more water, we're going to have less water stored up in our aquifers and basins. There's a lot of water under the ground in the desert. So right now I'm just going to take a walk and hopefully show you some exciting desert wildlife in case you're not in this region or you've never been outside, right? So let's take a walk. That doesn't look natural. There's so much life even in the desert. So, your challenge is to teach others about how the drought affected our region where El Paso, Texas is located. And also, what did we do? What technology enabled us to not be out of water right now, right? So, have fun researching, and I look forward to learning what you could teach the rest of the world about our region.